It's hard to speak after Mickey. Thank you. So, it's hard to believe, but when I was, I don't know if the picture, you can put that picture up. When I was growing up, I was quite the romantic. I didn't just play violin, I would play serenades. And when I would sing, I sang 1980s rock. They were rock ballads. So I just grew up, I was a romantic and an imaginative person. I would write, make up songs, compose music, and read a lot. And in preparing for this, I was thinking about why. And I think part of it was that the person who I loved the most and who I held up the most, my mother, life was not always easy for my mom in this country. And I grew up mostly looking at life through her eyes and the hurt that she would have, the self-gaslighting she would do when she couldn't do things in this language or in this culture that she just couldn't do. And I would be enraged, actually, when I would see it. And my mom and I would argue a lot because she would say, oh, my kunado, which means my big son, you're not going to live like this, so you're going to go do it. And I would say, Mom, that's not right, like your life, like don't do that. So that was how I grew up. So I would sort of imagine different worlds and a little bit of an idealist. And so I went off, thinking that, one of my favorite songs growing up was Your Song by Elton John. And this line is, he says, if I was a sculptor, and then again, no, and maybe a man who makes potions for the traveling show. And I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, this one's for you. And so that's sort of in my soul. But then I went off to Harvard and private equity, and guess what? Potion makers and people like that, it's hard to be that on Wall Street and managing money. And things came to a pass, as Mickey says, in my 40s. I saw my mom caring for my dying father. And I met a group of women who bore very little physical resemblance to my mother, but just reminded me about her in every way. The leadership, the daily leadership, the way they held communities together. They were relentless in their devotion to their families, and they never asked for credit, and I think they also knew rarely would they get credit. And they were my mom. And so in my 40s, I went away. So that little boy who makes potions and for the traveling show, I went away for 7 years. It was supposed to be 6 months, but it ended up being 7 years. And I think the women that I work with, they got the best of a very flawed person for 7 years. And in many ways, I was able to do the things I wanted to do for my mother growing up that I just didn't have the skill set to do. And so, this funny thing is that when you focus on helping someone else sing their song, unadulterated, you sort of find yours at the same time. So I saw it when they helped me bury my dad. I saw it when they helped me bury my mom. And I think the things that the women at Ashley Stewart loved about me most were the things that were most true. They loved the fact I could do numbers and math and finance, but I think they really loved the man who makes potions for the traveling show, the imaginative little boy. So today, next slide, as things would have it, today would happen to be the 58th anniversary of my mom and my dad, October 10th. And they're no longer here with us. And I just came back from Korea 2 days ago, and I just took a red-eye in from LA. So if I'm not sounding incoherent, that's the reason why. And I think things like this sort of come to pass, they happen to pass like this. Truth be told, when my mother passed away, I lost my voice. And I went into a pretty dark place. And I think, but for Dr. Frederick at Howard inviting me to chair entrepreneurship there, I don't know what I would have been doing. Or my friend Jim Levine, who really pushed me to write this book, he basically he grabbed my ear and said, write the book. Because he knew the book was in the business book. It was a compilation of songs. It was a song that my mother sang, a song that the women of Ashley Stewart sang, and when those two women found their song, lo and behold, I feel like I found mine. Next slide, please. And so I'll complete this by just saying, this is the same book that a week ago I was in Seoul reading the Korean translation of this book to my father at the gravesite where he would have been buried had he not immigrated here. And I was able to teach off of this book to the Seoul National University College of Nursing class where my mom went. And I just can't even tell you how it feels. And so this is, to be here holding this Korean translation, I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful for Judith and Harper One, who also allowed me to sing this sort of odd song. The book is actually a song. And I want to thank Girls Right Now for working diligently to make sure that younger versions of my mother and the women of Ashley Stewart, that they can sing their songs out loud younger and with more confidence, and that they have to realize that they need friends that will let them sing aloud and support them when they need it. So thank you very much.